Because I must say, there are people who speak things on your life and you're just like, go away, don't talk. Because
Yes.
somebody did say, oh, you're going to be a teacher. I'm like, no. I looked at her, laughed, and said, I'll be a lawyer. Teacher. So, what was your question? What do I love about teaching?
What's the most rewarding part? It
now
seems like
that
all
I'm
of it is rewarding.
now that I'm here,
Copy. It came in the mail today, just today.
I love it.
Fantastic book.
Like, subscribe, and share to Voices of Linden TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Show. I'm your host, Andrew James, and today I'm pleased to have with us in studio via Zoom, Miss Colette Leader-Kalumbi. Colette is the owner-operator of Linden Legacies. Miss Leader-Kalumbi is also an author, a musician, and one of my favorite artists. I'm pleased to welcome in studio today, Miss Kalumbi.
Hello. Thank you, Andrew, for having me.
Welcome to the show, Colette. It's so nice to see you after, of course, so many, many years.
You make me joke. already. Thank you. It's been a
Colette,
minute.
for folks
Minutes.
watching the show who don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I would say I'm really simple, but others would say, "Ah, that's not true." So I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to be out in nature. I love music. I love drawing. I love swimming and being outdoors and finding new things to do. I do like cooking new recipes, but I don't like to clean up. Thank God I have somebody in my life who's great at dishes. um, I am into, like I said, music, and I have a choir that I'm a part of, active part of, conductor, educator. But I also feel really great having a really good book, curling up next to a fire, and just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, music is super important to me. If I'm not making it, singing it, humming, writing lyrics down, so a major part of who I am. Did I say I draw? I paint. I like nails. I like doing my own nails, even though sometimes people are like, "Yo, chill." I just like being around really cool people and having great conversations,
Mm-hmm.
good food, and then when it's time to be by myself and reflect, I love to do that too. So that's the introvert, extrovert, or what do you say? You're an ambivert. That's what I am.
This Linden Legacies is such a big name. Can you tell us what is the meaning behind the name? Where did you get the name from? And what is the true meaning behind Linden Legacies, if I may?
All right, so let me layer this out just a little bit. Leading legacy, they actually, leader is my last name. Well, it was my former surname, but it was a last name, leader. And what I found very interesting is when I would introduce myself and say, yes, my name is Colette Leader, people would be like, they think I'm making it up or it wasn't real. Like, are you sure? Like, oh, you're trying to be the boss or whatever. And it was like, no, that's my actual last name. And so I was in a business class, and we had to come up with a name for our business. And we had 30 minutes, and we had to write down as many names as possible. And they said, do something that you connect with. Do something that makes sense to you, that is catching to you, and whatever. And leader is the name, but I love also the action, leading. So you had leading, and legacy has always been something I'm interested in. Growing up, we were told not what you're going to be when you grow up, but like, what are you going to do? And that's a totally different question than be, right? So it's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to leave as a legacy here? And it doesn't have to be something huge, but when you're gone, is there something that has your name on it? Is there something that you've contributed to society? And
Mm-hmm.
so, in a nutshell, because there's a whole bunch of different things, but you got from 20 names to 15 to 10 to 5, and it was like leading legacies. Leading legacies. Yep.
Very nice to say. Miss Kalumbi, do you have a website?
I have a website. Guys. Firstly, my web developer, Forever Noteworthy. Listen, you need to get on this amazing. So yes, leadinglegacies.ca. Yes, I have a website and it's awesome.
Tell us a little bit about what we can expect to find on your website, if I may.
All of the things. But let me get specific. I'm an educator. So, especially after the pandemic, I'm saying after like it's gone, but we're seeing that parents needed helps because all of a sudden parents had to be teaching at home and they're like, what am I doing? So it was a lot of homework support and homework help and tutoring that was happening. And that's where part of the concept came up because as a teacher, I've always tutored. Even before I was a teacher, I've always tutored. So it was kind of like, how do we support our parents and actually have it so that it's fun for the children? So there's a tutoring section which I am in charge of, and I also have, when you get on the website, you see that I have a free 15-minute consultation with you. If you're like, do I want to? Do I not? You'll see by the end that you do want to hang out with me. And then I have piano lessons done by my husband, who is actually a classically trained pianist, and these are remote. This is virtual. Yep. And also there's just basically me in a nutshell. So my music, my love of music, my painting, we have paint nights. There's I write, I'm an author, so there's the books. You can customize paintings or you can just commission something. Whatever is in this creative head of mine comes out and I can help you or commission something as a gift. And then we have paint nights and all types of things. So you will spend a lot of time checking things out. It's not just for one thing you're going for. There'll be a whole bunch of things you can check.
In terms of samples, do you have any samples of your current offerings that's on the website? And if you can tell us about turnaround time, should I go and I order one of your paintings? I'm hoping that you have some there. You can show us some of your swags, or you talked about, I think earlier you mentioned that you have a CD you did with your husband. Do you have a copy? If you can tell us like gauge us like some sort of price point, that'll be pretty helpful.
Show and tell. So music-wise, there are links. It's Upon This Rock Music. There are links to YouTube, but there's also where you can get our album that we did together. This was very much needed. All Nature Sings. It's nice. Inspiration. It's 14 tracks, and when you're dating, do a project with your person, and that makes you see if you're gonna actually stay with them or not. And this is how we actually really got together, doing our music together. So 14 tracks. You can get romantic and throwback with like Edelweiss. You can I have actual stuff that I've written, like songs I've written, like when you're going through those things. For me, music saved my life. So being able to write, hey, this is kind of messed up right now, but being able to write down your feelings and then turn it into something that you can share with others has been amazing. And then there's something like Great Is Thy Faithfulness, which is an awesome hymn. And I am biased, and I don't mind saying it. My husband is like one of the best musicians I have ever met, and I know a lot of musicians. But just having this music soothing. So get one of these up YouTube, iTunes, CD Baby, all of that. Have I plugged this? $15. And then you can choose your tracks on iTunes. Whatever it is you do, we're out here. Okay? So All Nature Sings. What else can you find? Behind me I have some artwork. Well, I cannot take credit for the big one. This was a gift by my beautiful nieces Gloria and Grace. They're now 11 and 12. So yeah, young children, but just super talented. And so I've been with them to do art. And this was a tribute painting I did of my grandmother. She did pass
Nice.
away last year.
Hmm.
But this was one I did this and then did a copy for all of my uncles and aunts, so they have something hanging up in their perspective, their homes, wherever they are. So I do paintings like that, and then we have merch because Christmas is coming. I feel like I'm just, those
Merry Christmas, Colette.
yeah, we have merch. So if you'd like to, I have a couple if you want to see them.
Sure, absolutely. I like seeing stuff.
Okay, so yeah, because we're in Canada, it gets cold, and you don't have just those cute little those cute cups of tea. Like you need a good mug.
Yes.
So this is double sided. This is we have these mugs here, and you can check out all the price points. Everything is online under the leadinglegacy.ca and then the store.
Hmm.
We have notebooks. So here's a notebook here, and it's lined.
Very
So
nice.
that. What else do we have? People don't really write letters that much anymore, but they're so cool. So I love that. I have these cards. They are blank cards, so you can write whatever you'd like, and they come with their envelopes. So it's really cool to have these. And all of these images are stuff that I've painted. These are all my own paintings and stuff that are on here.
Hmm.
And I know especially we like a bag, we like a good strong tote. So
Yes.
tote bag here. I'll show you the reference my face.
Oh,
So
wow. Nice.
see how big it is. It's canvas is strong, it has a zipper at the top. And it's just like a beautiful addition. So when you go and you buy, don't just buy one for your friends too. It's cute. And the last thing, because I mean we're talking about a whole bunch of different things and just giving it to you at one time. There's countdown to my book that I've just published. We're doing a launch countdown. We'll talk about that, but my book is available on it too. Whoop. So yeah, that's what you can find there. Whole bunch of things.
Well, I'm going to jump in quick and show you what I have here. I went to Linden Legacies, and I actually was able to get myself a copy. It came in the mail today, just today.
I love it.
Fantastic book. I mean, just look at the coloring, look at the glossiness. Something for free. What's for free these days, Colette? Nothing is for free. So I'm intrigued. I will be reading this book tonight before I go to bed. It's not a lot of pages. I'm a person I don't like to read. But guess what?
A lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures. I like pictures. There you go. Beautiful pictures. This is a fantastic read. Folks, the last book I bought was 10 years ago. I bought this one not because I know Colette. I bought it because it's the book that it looks like me. It reflects some of my family members, if I may.
Okay.
It's a fantastic book. What can be done when everything seems to go wrong? So, Colette, tell us a little bit about the book. I know the launch is November 19th, but I was able to get it before. I'm actually going to get a couple for my nieces. They like to read, unlike their uncle. They like to read.
Reading's fundamental.
What a great present to give, especially at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Tell us about the book, Colette. What inspired you to write this book? And if I may, of course, what's your price point? I know it's the official launch is coming up on the 19th. I'm excited. I got it before the 19th. What can we expect and what's the cost, please?
Okay, wow. Okay, so what can you expect? You ask, okay. I'm gonna preface it by saying, sometimes life throws things at you that you're like, what is happening? And I must say, before I tell you a little bit about the book, I'm not gonna tell you much because I want you to buy it for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
This came out of being transparent. I was in an accident at work. I got injured on the job at work. And you think, you're a teacher. You teach kids. Like, what could happen? These things happen. And the injury left me unable to walk for a while. Like,
Wow.
I had to get help. I'm glad I have a beautiful husband and I had family very close by, so
Mm-hmm.
they were able to help me because I couldn't walk for a while. But with that, it got me into a state of what can I do? Who am I if I'm not doing what I usually do? Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I'm swimming, I'm in nature, I'm conducting a choir, I'm in the gospel choir, and we don't just sing like, oh, we move. And what can you do? Not saying that I'm shading anybody else, but we have our choreography. You know what I mean? And it's not a 30-minute show. It's like you go 90 minutes hard. You're sweating. You have not been to a gospel concert if you come out and you're not sweating. What happened? But all of the things that I've been used to doing, even the way I teach, I'm very on the floor with them and everything. And I have to say this so you can understand. All of that overnight was gone.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, what am I gonna do? What is my worth if I can't do what I'm so used to doing? Those are the
Mm.
questions I was asking myself. What is my worth if I can't make dinner for my family?
Mm.
What's happening? And I have a very encouraging spouse too, and he was like, but you tell stories and you write. That's
Mm.
something you can still do. You're not walking right now, but you can still write. And another
Yes.
thing with my injury, because it was the nape of my back, is the spinal cord, hence
Mm.
not being able to write. My
Mm.
memory and everything started to kind of get jumbled. I wouldn't remember the name for ketchup, but I'd be like, that red stuff you put on fries, you know?
Mm.
But this book helped me to start, the idea helped me to start, just writing and getting something out there and doing something other than what I'm used to. I'm not moving around, but I was able to do some things. And so that is like the synopsis of it, but really and truly something for free, and it's LOVE. Because, like you said, what's for free? There's nothing for free, but when you read it, it is for primary age. Like if they ask what's the age group, but really and truly, it's for everyone because you read it at a different level, whatever age you are. When you read it, like you'll get a different understanding of it. And I'm the type of writer, I like dual stuff. I like you're reading it, but there's something else, kind of like Narnia or all those other things. Other things are happening. It's like, yo, when you read the book once, you got to read it again. So anyway, that was one of the reasons I wrote it. I had time. I couldn't go anywhere. I wasn't working. And then also, I wanted, like you said, this looks like some of your family members. It looks like I love that living in Canada in some places, especially Toronto when I was there, and now there's multicultural, and you see your street has different people. There are people who look like you. There are people who look like you're friends with different people, and that's something I really liked, and I wanted it to reflect here.
And what are we looking at in terms of your cost?
Canadian online $17.99. US $13.99. I saw euros. It was like what, £13 or something like that. So when you go, depending on your link, so it's $17.99 in online for our Canadian peeps.
Excellent. Nicely said, Colette. Thank you very much for sharing your book with us and the viewing audience, of course. Earlier, you mentioned drawing, singing, reading, writing, telling stories. It seems like your life is tied into mostly around the arts, if I may. Can you tell us through your own lens, what is the importance of arts in education?
Super important. Super important because we learn in so many different ways. And if we just stick to the reading, the writing, the arithmetic, there's so many other things happening that we miss. And students miss out on learning different things and having different skills because they're in just one box. So why the arts and getting messy? Remember Miss Frizzle? Miss Frizzle, I think I'm dating myself. Make mistakes, get messy. Yo, that lady, that teacher was awesome. I think that's one of the reasons. Anyway, that's not the question. Arts are important because it's able to make you express yourself in different ways. You learn in different ways, and then you see a student who might not be even interested in something in this way, but you put them into a music class, or you say rap, or you have them run up and down and do something with their bodies, and you're like, oh my goodness, they understand these concepts but in a different way. And it also helps with your skills outside of formal education. Like, I don't know how I'd be as an adult if I couldn't still color. You need it. Regulate, self-regulation, all that stuff. It's important. I can go on, but I'm going to stop there.
Very nice to say. Colette, in terms of your story was very powerful. I'm sorry to hear about your injury that you experienced here at work. I trust and pray that, with time, you'll get better, stronger, and, you'll be able to enjoy the things that you said you once liked and you enjoy and so on. With time and right attitude, as you have,
right?
And, the fact that you're not dwelling on it as much, positive, good self-taught, I guess, and prayer can definitely get you through your challenging time there, of course. And again, continue writing, continue inspiring, continue doing good. And I'm confident that all is going to be well.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to a young girl who's at home, possibly nursing an injury, and who feels like ultimately giving up? What advice would you give to that young person at this time? Could be someone in the hospital somewhere watching this video, and they're looking at you for some advice. What would you say to them?
Well, I've been there. I have been there. And first you have to acknowledge that you are going through something. And I might even add, just not personally, because after 2022, we've all had some kind of like, whoa, what is this? What is happening here? But the first thing, it would be that it's okay not to be feeling okay. And I'm probably going to say that a couple of times. It's okay not to be okay. But sometimes what you have to tell yourself is give yourself time.
Right.
So it can be really hard because when you're like, depressed or you have anxiety or something, sometimes it's hard to reach out and you go into yourself and you isolate. Well, find your tribe, that one or two people that you're like, listen, this is really hard for me, but I'm going through it and I need help. And again, I said it before, it's okay not to feel okay, but reach out in a way, just even a little bit. You ask and you think, okay, who is somebody, even if you close your eyes, who is somebody who I think would be able to help? Name, person, picture, whatever, and you reach out in that way. And we have to learn to be kind to ourselves and give ourselves grace, because life is hard. Life is hard, and with all of the distractions, with all the social media and everything, when everything is together and picture perfect, I say to people, check in on your happy friends, your strong friends, you're checking on the one, we tend to, they're shy or whatever, we leave them alone, but people, even when I've had people say, oh, I know you're doing well. How do you know? I see you on Facebook, you're good. I'm like, that's not real life. That's not real life, people. But it's not just a young girl, but a young person. Put yourself, try just one more time, reach out to somebody, and there will be somebody. And sometimes when it feels like there's nobody, that's all of that mess happening, but reach out and say something to somebody. This is a little heavy, but we lost a cousin during COVID, death by suicide. Happy dude, friendly, lots of hugs, everything. Nobody knew anything was going on, And then after the fact, someone like, he was like, hey, I want to call and talk. Like, can we talk? And people are kind of like, well, we can't get together. But when I say, if somebody reaches out to the flip side, be intentional. It doesn't have to be an hour, 5 minutes. Hey, you good? I was thinking about you. It's needed. So, yeah, be kind to yourself. It takes time and you're okay. It's okay not to be okay. You're not going to stay there. It won't be like that forever. I promise.
Very nicely said. Thank you so much, Miss Kalumbi. I know we're just pushing up against time, but we don't get to talk too often, so
I
I want to
know.
make the best out of it. I know we're just punching on time, but my question to you is that through your own lens, what was the most rewarding part of your teaching career?
Before I tell you that, I must say I didn't want to be a teacher. Okay, this was not my. I did not want to be a teacher. I wasn't messing with anybody's kids. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to make a whole bunch of money. I was going to have my vacations, have my timeshare. I wasn't going to go. Anyway, let me chill. I wasn't gonna do that. This was not my ministry, and I actually even ran. I was like, this is not happening. Cause I must say, there are people who speak things on your life, and you're just like, go away, don't talk. Cause
Yes.
somebody did say, oh, you're gonna be a teacher. I'm like, no. I looked at her, laughed, and said, I'll be a lawyer. Teacher. So, what was your question? What do I love about teaching?
What's the most rewarding part? It
now
seems like
that
all
I'm
of it is rewarding.
now that I'm here, after running away, I really like when you see a student grasp a concept, and it's not just like when they really get it and they're like happy about it. I love when my students love to learn.
Mm.
And it's not just oh, I got it because I have to get it. I love when my students are like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's it, I get it. And then they expand it even more by saying, so if I could do this, then maybe we could do this. And I love the collaboration when students come together and like, oh, I like what you did here, I like this, let's see if we could put it together. That's why for me, even though I have lower element, when I was in the classroom formally, I liked projects because that makes you think outside of the box, and then you see these kids where they're like, you don't think they're learning stuff, and then they're geniuses, like they're doing all your things. So I love to see when they are excited about learning. I love that very much. That is probably the best part. Another part I like, and this is on the older side, is, and it's part of the whole being an author too, because this is
Hmm.
my second book. But I like when you go into like a classroom in high school and they're too cool for anything, and you're like, family, gather around, it's time for story, and you bring out a picture book, and they're just like, nah, this is not happening, miss, we're too old for this. But by the end of it, everybody's around, they're engaged, they're speaking about different things. I do that with the kindergarten, and I do that with the high school. I love it. So yeah.
Nicely said. Ms. Kalumbi, what advice would you give to a teacher? Me, myself, when I was in school, I had no vested interest in learning. I was never a model student. It's the truth. Maybe that's
You
why I'm
you've
doing the
been
lecture
my
on
favorite type of student. I must
Yeah?
I must say. I The ones that are those are my favorite, but we're not supposed to have favorites though. So it's just, I like y'all.
What advice would you give to a teacher that has multiple Andrew James in their class, not interested in learning? Is just there to, I guess, more so the social aspect, play video games, have conversation, and be distracted. What advice would you give to that teacher?
And this is something I had to learn for myself.
Hmm.
Firstly, you can't be too hard on yourself. Why are they not learning? Why are they talking? Why is this? It used to be like, come on, just learn. And then it's like they're not interested in the way you're doing it. So sometimes you have to really take a step back. Say, it's not on you, it's not even just a fault. Step back, look at what their interests are. Ask a couple questions. Sometimes the whole what you call, I haven't been for a long time. Your whole setup you have for the day goes out the window because kids are spiraling. Kids didn't have breakfast. Kids are doing all kind of different things. So it's like, you know what? We're gonna put away this book and we're gonna come and go outside and run, or we're gonna go and, I mean, there's things you have to do. You have to make sure administration knows, but give yourself some time, be very observant, and try to learn Know your children, know your kids, no, not kids, know your students. It takes some time, but that's where September, whatever, is for. Start knowing what they're into and stuff, so you can speak to them like humans. Hey, what do you like? Oh, so you're gonna be spinning around in my class, but I want you to teach this because you're good at this. I want you 10 minutes. You're up there. You're in charge of this. See what happens. It's amazing. Sometimes it's chaos, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all learning.
So your suggestion is to include and have them be a part of the learning experience.
Definitely, because there's things as an adult that I say that they don't get. There's a concept they don't get, and then another kid who understands it. Sometimes it sounds exactly the same way I said it, but they're like, "Oh, I get it." And I'm like, "Okay, don't feel the ways. Let them be involved. That's part of learning, and don't always think that you're the one imparting the knowledge. Like the students teach me all the time, and I love it. It goes both ways." So.
Nice to set. Miss Kalumbi, we're just wrapping up against time. This is the book. It's all about something for free. $17. It's about $18. What a great opportunity to present someone with a Christmas present. Merry Christmas, Colette. Here's your book.
Thank you.
I really like it, and I'm sure somebody watching can and they should get a copy of this book. Buy this book. It's cheap. I'm sure this is going to fly off the shelf as quickly as.
Listen, like the launch hasn't even happened. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Go ahead.
The launch hasn't even happened, and I'm just thanking everybody already who's not buying just one. You're like, oh, get this book, but they're like, okay, I bought 3. When are you coming? When you coming? Cause I need you to sign this and this and this, And I am grateful for that. Like even though the official launch is on the 19th, people are taking pictures of the book and sending me the picture. So when you get it, yes, send me the picture too. Leadinglegacies.ca or wherever. A lot of people again have been so happy that you've been pre-ordering the book and you have it in hand. So for the month of November, actually in a couple of weeks, I'll be doing a signing in person. If you buy your book during this time and you have it ordered and ready, I'll be having a signing on the 27th. Yeah, the 27th of November in Toronto. Toronto, like I'm not from there. In Toronto, we're having a signing. Stop this. Anyway, it's going to be at the at 85 Parkwards Village Drive. I'll have like more information pop up. You can also send if you've taken a picture of my book already, and you'd like me to post it. You can send me the email with your picture attached at Colette, 1L, COLETTE, at leadinglegacies.ca. So that's my email for that. So the information will be there, and you can get my, what is it, Jane Hancock? Because you can't say John, I'm a girl. Yeah. I'll sign it. I have a really good signature too. I've been practicing. I've been practicing.
Very good.
And we do that, like low key. Hey, say hey. What's good?
Something for free when nothing is for free. There you go. Get the book, right? It's $17. Go online. Go to leadinglegacies.ca. Buy the book and show some love to Colette. Keep her going. It's really, really cool to support your friends and family and people who reflect and who look like yourself. Colette, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I look forward to having you and your husband on one day, perhaps before Christmas. Maybe you guys can come back and give us some kind of Christmas music to get the festivals going.
I see what you did there. How are we gonna say no? My husband and you guys are friends, so.
Thank you very much, Colette. It's okay to
okay.
It's okay to not be okay, but we are okay. So we are okay. So,
okay.
I think with that we'll say good night. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you, and please extend and give my regards to your husband.
I will do that. Thanks for having me.
Good night.